we can look at one example of such continuous mathematical function which can represent a 3D space, and that is signed distance functions. Now, what are the signed distance functions? Let us understand that. So, function returning distance from any point to the nearest surface. So, signed distance function, what they do is that you give it a point and it will return the nearest the distance of the given point to the nearest surface, that it will return along with the sign. So if the sign is positive, it means whatever xyz I gave, it is outside the nearest surface. If the sign is negative, then whatever point I gave, it is inside the nearest surface. And if it is 0, it means whatever point I gave, it is exactly on the surface. So now it's very clear that we have something called a signed distance function. Now, how exactly it looks like, all that we will not discuss now. But you should get an idea that, okay, we have continuous mathematical functions which can represent 3D space, 3D scenes. And one of that is signed distance function. Now, this signed distance function, what it is, exactly the mathematical function we are not discussing. We are discussing its nature. What it can do is that whatever point you give it xyz, it will give the distance of that point from the nearest surface. And that distance can be positive, negative, or 0. If it is positive, it means the point is outside the nearest surface. Negative means the point is inside the nearest surface. And 0 means it is on the surface. So here we can see that this is the distance to the surface. This is the distance to the surface. Now, definitely advantages if we talk about, since it is continuous in nature, smooth surfaces we can get, compact representation, like because the mathematical functions now, they are like small formulas and they are differentiable, like they can be optimized. Now, one more way of neural, like implicit representation. So implicit representation means representing a 3D scene with a continuous mathematical function. So one of the way is like signed distance function.